Hello, hello. Hey, Bo. Hey, Chef. Hey, Moose Socks. How is everybody doing? Sorry for the weird night. After only having 2 people on Friday. I originally meant to do this yesterday, then I realized I had a prior responsibility I had to deal with. So here we are today. Hopefully we'll have a better turnout. As long as we get at least a handful, I'll do the stream either way. Right now we're still sitting at 2 again. Don't ever believe the counter. Yeah, it can be weird. Right now it's showing 3. It's definitely something they could most definitely work on their end. Well, if all of you are still on, it's you, Moose Socks, and Chef. Maybe they stepped away for a minute. I don't know. Who knows? With it being a weird night, you always got to give it some time, though, for people to figure out that the stream is on. Welcome back. QQ. So while we're waiting, anybody got anything interesting going on? Anybody else looking forward to football season? I did. It's always cool when somebody can complete a set. Your family is counting the days. Yeah, preseason starts in what, 2 weeks? Oh no, 4 days. First preseason game is this Thursday. The Panthers and Cardinals. And then 13th is the first full week of preseason. Or full lineup. And then my team's first preseason game is Saturday, August 15th. That's why I thought it was 2 weeks, because I really only pay attention to the Eagles. Eagles aren't playing a preseason game till the 15th. It's kind of weird that, let's see, definitely the Cardinals, and then, yeah, both the Panthers and Cardinals will have played 2 preseason games by the time the Eagles play their first one. That's weird. I wonder how they determine that. Dang, $220 for a 21? That's a good price in any grade. Even if you get up to... God. Even if you get up to what, like, I think EFs are already at like $350? Typically for those? Yeah. That would shock me too. If I ever came across that, I would definitely grab it because I know I'd have it sold in 5 minutes. I do get peace dollars. You guys just don't see them very often because I have one guy that buys almost all of my peace dollars. He used to be a regular around on the streams, but now it's just, we just communicate via email. So most of the peace dollars I ever get, he ends up grabbing. At least an AU-58. Let's see. Well, if he is right, that'd be a $500 coin. And then as you get into the mint state, even just a mint state 60 is a $650 coin. Mint state 63 is 1,000. And then, at least for PCGS, top pop is a mint state 67. And they've only ever graded 6 of them at 67s. And those would be 150,000 each. Give or take. I mean, that's their estimate. If you look at the actual... I'm looking at their actual sale records here. It says there's one for sale now at Collector's Corner. It's an AG4 for $200,000. I don't think they're going to sell that one. Yeah, there's a couple that did sell over $100,000 for the Mint State 67, but then there's others that are... The most recent one that they have a record of was from April of last year. That sold for $50,400. You got both Silver Eagles for $62. How'd you do that? That's under melt. That's way under melt. Hey, Richard. I'd like to find some of those at that price. I think melt what is like 58 and change right now? Yeah, 58.02 right now. So that would be 116.04 just at melt as of right this second. Yeah, you lucked out, bro. You and your son both crazy lucked out. That's nuts. Oh, he said he got both of them for $62. So that's the 86 and a 95. And he got both of them for that price. So it's basically $31 each. If I ever found that, dude, I'd be borrowing money. I don't care what I'd have to do. I would be finding a way to buy as many of those as I freaking could. That is nuts. Oh, 62 each. Okay, you said you got both for 62. No, he literally said, I got both ASC coins for 62. That's why I thought he... That's still a good price. That's still only $4 over melt. Yeah, and usually, like Moose said, usually just the 86 would be higher than that just because it's the first year. Had to drive an hour and a half to the other coast, but it was worth it. I mean, even if you figure in the current cost of gas, yeah, that's still... You did pretty good. No gas, drove the EV. Oh, even better. All right, we got 6 on. I'm going to give it a few more minutes, then we'll get started. Finally found the Edith Kanaka Ole with the strike through. I didn't even know there was one. So if there's more than one, then what? Does that mean that the strike through happened on the die? It got put into the die pattern? Because typically a strike through on a coin only happens on one. Because it'll be just a piece of debris gets in between the die and the planchet. And then gets ejected when the coin gets ejected. So it usually only happens to one coin. So did it actually happen to the die? Oh, cool. Do they know how many of them got minted before they caught it? Or like an estimation? Oh, okay, that's a die clash, not a strike through. Yeah, that means that means the hammer and the anvil hit each other without a planchet in the way, and it put the impression on each other. No, I'm good. Now that I know it's a die clash, I know what you're talking about. When you said strike through, that was what threw me off. And in case, here we go. In case there's anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about. So, you have an anvil die and you have a hammer die. And if they come down and slam together, because they press them at about 65,000 pounds of pressure, and there's nothing in between them, it will imprint the image of the top and the bottom will imprint on each other. If you get a strike through, that's where you'll get a piece of debris, like a wire, a screw, or something, that falls onto the anvil. And then when the hammer comes down, then that gets imprinted into the planchet itself. But then when the planchet is ejected, for the next planchet to come in, it typically ejects that piece of debris. So strike throughs are typically a one-time thing. A very good piece of information for any coin collector to have is understand the process of how coins are made. Because then you'll understand what is and isn't possible and when somebody's trying to fake you out. There's a monthly show here in Tucson. I've just never made it to one yet. I keep meaning to. It's not that far from here. It's only like a few miles. Someday I'll make it. Alright, I'm going to give it 2 more minutes and then we'll get this thing started. What causes cuds? So since we got 2 minutes, as you start wearing down the die, as they're constantly slamming, little pieces of the die break off. And that's what creates a cud. It's where a piece of the die is actually missing. If the die actually eventually on the edge, if it cracks, that's where you get a die crack. If you have it where you have a whole part that breaks off, but it's still connected, like it breaks down here, but it hasn't broken up here yet, you can end up with a die crack that goes like maybe like a semicircle, and that's what's known as a retained cud. Once that piece breaks off, then now you have a cud. And then when you have the little tiny spots that are like more in the middle, those are your die chips, which is where a little chip of the die popped off. So now it's just filling it with plan chip material. Make sense? Yeah, like I said, it's good to know. It's like knowing the difference between a true double die and a machine double. Do you guys know what that one is? I'll give you guys one more for anybody who doesn't know that one. Okay, so when they make the die, they make a big version of it, then they use that big version of it to imprint onto the small one. That's the master die, and they use that to make the other dies. So it'll come down when they're making the business dies. They slam it down, then they bring it up, and then they slam it again. So because they want to make sure it gets on that round piece of steel really good. On occasion when they do that, one of them will shift just a tiny bit, and then it comes back down and slams down. That's a double die. So it's when it actually turns just a bit as they're making the die. It's like just a tiny hair, but it's enough to do a double die. Machine doubling is when it comes down, hits, and then bounces. When it's actually got the planchet in there. So it hits it twice. And then when it hits it twice and bounces, that allows the planchet to shift a little bit in the collar. That's a machine double. Just looked up the die clash as a wild one. Yeah, there's some very cool die clashes out there. The really cool ones are the ones where the clash doesn't even go with that coin. Like there's one out there that's like, I wanted to say it's like an Indian cent that's die clash with a Seed of Liberty. because somebody changed one side and forgot to change the other. So they thought that the new master die had been installed, and it hadn't. So they brought it down, and they ended up with a die clash. It is. Machine doubling is flatter, and then what you hear of referred to as shelf doubling, that's what you're referring to. Shelf doubling is, that's how you know it bounced. And then if you have something where it looks like there was a double die, but there's no separation in the serifs, so like say you have an L, and it looks like it just has another little piece right here, instead of having another piece that's just barely up a little bit, so you have a doubling of the serifs, that just means that the die's wearing out and is creating that weird effect. So that's just die wear. All right. Enough of the little education hour right now. There's only 5 people on, but I'm going to go ahead and get my beginning stuff out the way. All right, if there's anybody new, payments made via PayPal, use cheapskatecoins@gmail.com and use goods and services only, please. We also have Cash App using the same email, cheapskatecoins@gmail.com, and we do also have Venmo using Cheapskate Coins. If you use Cash App or Venmo, it will say Louis Gachera. That's me. You are in the right place. All right, shipping is $7 to $28. $7 being a little purple bubble mailer, $28 being a large flat rate box. If anybody wants your package sent registered, there's an additional $45 charge on that. There's the only way you can insure coins all the way through the mail. And keep in mind, if you have it sent registered, you will have to sign for it when it arrives. If you're new, you can get stuff tonight. You just have to email me by the end of the night. Email has to have your personal info. Excuse me. Your personal info, shipping info, your channel name, which payment method you're going to use, and what email you use for that payment method for invoicing purposes. If we do not get that email, you will not get anything. And we never ship without payment. And as always, see down in our description section for all the rest of our rules and policies. Here's our Facebook link. If you're on Facebook, go give us a follow. Today's lot list is on there. It is the top post. We do put the lot list on there every day we have a sale. We also have a mailing list. If you want to be on the mailing list, shoot me an email, cheapskatecoins@gmail.com, and say, add me to the mailing list. If you're on the mailing list, you will get the lot list at least a day or two before every sale, and then you have the ability to pre-purchase items as soon as you get that email. Remember, it's first come, first served, just like our sales, so if you want something, don't wait, jump on it. And we do not charge right away for pre-sales. We wait until the evening of the sale and then invoice everybody together. All right, I got that like dry spot. Ugh. All right. So no banknotes tonight. Any of you are on the mailing list, you might have noticed that. There's no banknotes on the list tonight. We are going straight to coins. All right, first lot. These are getting harder for me to come by. Like, a lot harder. It's a 1 pound bag of foreign coins. Just a random mixture of 1 pound of coins going for 15 bucks. Various countries, various denominations. Let's see what we got. Oh, dear. Oh, well, that's Mexico. And that one's going to Richard Gratzer. I have been trying and trying and trying to get more of the standard world coins. And good lord, it is a pain in the butt getting them now. I used to be able to get those all day long. The demand on those must have skyrocketed. Bo, didn't you say you even caught a silver once or twice in the ones that I sold? That even I missed? Because I know I'm not perfect. I know I miss stuff too. Yeah. All right, World Silva. We are kicking off tonight with Britain. Just small ones. Hey, man, silver is silver, right? All right, first one available. We have two of these actually available. Same grade, same price. These are 1921 sixpences. They're both in goods and they're $5 each. So this one is interesting because that actually looks like a lamination error. That looks more like a lamb than damage because that looks like, especially right in there, that looks like that's peeling. So there's that one. And then here is the other one. So $5 each. Hey, if it is a lamb error, that puts that one at being worth way more than $5. So grab it now while it's 5. Oops, Chef beat you by a hair, Richard. Chef came in like a split second before you. That one, all right. Anybody on the other one? Oh, you're betting both? All right, you got it, sir. Both of them going to be our chef. All right, next up. 1944 sixpence. This one is AU details, but it is hold, which is why I've only got it for $4 and going to Doug. That could be another Christmas tree ornament, Doug. Yeah, Doug says all the ones that he gets that has the holes in them, he hangs on his Christmas tree. I would be interested. You need to, when you have that set up, you need to send me a picture of that tree. I'll use it as one of our stream pics. Alright. Next up, 1940 shilling. This is the Scottish crest version. 50% silver, VF, $9. These do come in a Scottish crest version and an English crest. That is the Scottish crest. Anybody? Over $9. All right, moving on. All right, the other 2 shillings went in pre-sale, so we are now on to the only florin of the night, which is a 1945. 50% silver, AU. Still got some luster going on. Over $14. 2 shillings, also known as a florin. There we go. That's a little better. Any takers? All right, moving on. All right, next one up, we also have 2 available. These are 1923 half crowns. They are both fines and $16 each. Here's obverse number 1, obverse number 2. It's like almost the exact same wear pattern. And there's reverse number 1. And reverse number 2. Anybody? $16 each. Here you go. Now you can have the obverse and the reverse at the same time. Bin number 1. Anybody on number 2? All right, moving on. All right, 28 went in pre-sale, so we are on to the 33. 33 is in a VF, and again, $16. Reverse on this thing is more of an EF. If there would have been a little more detail on there, I would have called this an EF for the obverse. A little more separation right on the edge of the mustache and all that. Then I probably would have called this coin an EF. Anybody? All right, moving on to the 1941 Also in VF for 16. This is the last of our British coins for today. Anybody? All right, moving on. Anybody decide you want any more of that Britain, let me know. All right, next up we have one coin from Hungary. It is the 1947 5 forint. 50% silver in fine. Going for 15 bucks. We don't get these hardly ever. Anybody? Yeah, like I said, we don't get these all that often at all. Going to Chef. Gratzer. Hungary, we usually, when we do get them, is the smaller coins. Not the larger 5 forints and up. Alright, next up, got a couple of Panama. Who doesn't like a good Panama coin? First one is the 1966 half Balboa. 40% silver, extremely fine, 15 bucks. Anybody? Someday when I can actually invest in my coin collection a lot, Panama is one of the countries I will definitely be going for. This one's going to Chef. Gratzer. But man, some of those 1 Balboas for some of the years are crazy expensive. All right, and then the other one for today is the 1967. This one is the proof. 40% silver. Only 20,000 of these were ever made. 25 bucks. Yes, these are the exact same planchets as our half dollars. Just like the Balboas were struck on the exact same planchets that we use for Morgans and peace dollars. Going to Chef. Because we made all their coins for them. All right, next up, one coin from Mexico. Graded one of those, got a proof 69. Hey, there you go. $19.51, 25 centavo. 30% silver. AU, $5. Same amount of silver as a war nickel. This is the Mexico version of the war nickel. Going to shove. All right, next up, I got 3 from Australia. First one, 1946 shilling. 50% silver, VF, $9. It's the first year that they switched to the 50% silver. There are actually transitional error coins out there of this coin. You can actually find these as the 925 sterling. And if you can ever find one, ooh, those are big money coins. This is not a transitional error one. All right, moving on to the 1961. 50% silver, fine, $8. All right, moving up. And the last one from Australia, 1963 BU. Check that out. 50% silver. This is a choice BU. $15. Very rarely do you see them looking that good. That is gorgeous. That thing looks like it was made yesterday. Owner Richard Gratzer. All right. Anybody decide you want the other 2, let me know. All right, next up we got 1 coin from Canada. I have only ever had this coin 1 other time in 8 years of doing this. So if anybody needs this, you better jump on it now. Hey, Gold Maple, you're just in time. I'm doing a Canada coin. This is the 1987 50% silver proof dollar. And Doug's already jumping on it. That is an awesome coin. That quick enough? It is. It was indeed, and you are getting it. Alright, next up. Got a couple going from Sweden. It's an underappreciated country for world silver because their designs are very simplistic, I grant, but still nice coins. Exploration of the Davis Strait. There you go, Doug. That's what that one is. All right, first one is 1946 closed 6, 10 ore. From Sweden. It is a fine and toned. Give me 1 second. So there's an open 6 and a closed 6 version of this one. This is the closed 6. Going for $3. How often anymore can you ever find a world silver coin for $3? Any world silver coin. Yeah, Bo, I could do that. I could do the other two. I assume you're talking about the Australias. I can go $15 for the pair. Yep, you got it, sir. And you'll take this one too? You got it. All right. Next up is the 1954 50 ore. 40% silver VF, $7. Going to Bo. Congrats, sir. All right, and then the last one from Sweden is the 1957. Happy birthday to you. This one's also in a VF at $7. I tell you what, Bo, you want this one too? I'll give you $1 off each of these as well. So it'll be 6 and 6. Little birthday savings. You got it. So you're getting both the 50 ores for $6 piece instead of 7. All right. All right. Next up, I have one coin from the Netherlands. It does have some damage on it, which is why I'm doing it for just $5. It is the 1944 25-cent. It's definitely seen better days. Anybody want to grab that one for a low $5? That is the melt alone on this coin is $4.29. So it's going out for less than $1 over melt. That's 71 cents over melt. So wait for silver to rebound a couple of bucks, and this will be, you'll have ended up getting this for under melt. Drill a hole in it for Doug. I'm sure Doug can put his own hole in it if he wanted to. All right, moving on. All right, last two world silver coins of the night. Are from India. Kicking off with the 1944 quarter rupee. 50% silver in fine, $5. Feel like a dark toning going on. All right, moving on. Last world silver coin of the night is the 1943 half rupee. This is the with dot. VF for $10. So when you look down there below the flower, you're going to find either a dot, a diamond, or an L, and that is what mint it came from. This one has got the dot. Anybody? I can do you both for 12. It'd be $3 off. Both going for $12 to Moosocks. So that makes that one 8 and that one 4. You got it, sir. A guy. Fine home row. There we go. All right. All right, so last week as we blew through all of those wheat cents in pre-sale, I did say that I would have more this week. They would all be the BUs. I definitely delivered. All right, so every one of these is $5 a piece. First one up, I've got 4 available. These are the 1954 S's. There is a number 1. There is a number 2. There is a number 3. And number 4. BU 54 S's. $5 each. Anybody? Bin number 4, going to Moose Ox. Anybody else? Been at 2 each? That would be less than I paid for them. Or are you saying you want 2 of each date available? Or date and mint? All right, so you want 2 of the S's. You got it. I just wanted to make sure. All right, anybody on the last one? All right, we're going to move on. All right, next one up, we've got 2 available. These are 1957 plain dates. One is toned, one is not. This is the toned one. You'll take the last of the S's. You got it. And then this is the one that's not toned. Anybody on those? And Chef's taking both of those as well. You got it, sir. All right, next up, 57 Denvers. I've got 3 available. $5 each. There's a number 1. That one's got some toning on it. There's number 2. And number 3. You have a complete tubed roll of 39 Wheats BU. Nice. Moose Ox taking number 2. Anybody on the other 2? Other 2 going to Chef. All right. Next up, 58 Denvers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 available. Here's number 1. Number 2. 3. Here's number 4. Number 5. And number 6. Anybody on the 58 Denvers? Number 6 going to Moose Sox. At least 5 left. Anybody else? All right. And then the last one, I only have one of these. This is a 58 plain date. Also $5. Anybody on this one? All right, moving on. Anybody decide you want the last bit of those, let me know. All right. All right, the next bit of stuff is all from a 2007 S proof set that got broken up. So here is the penny. Going for $2. 2007 proof decam. Anybody? Going to Chef. Do I have the $50? Yes, I do. It's the 90% silver $50. Not the clad. Just FYI. 2007 S nickel. Going for $2. Need the clad proof? I can keep an eye out for one. I'm pretty sure I can probably get my hands on one somewhere. No, it's just the way it ended up in the flip. It's actually, it's straight. All right, moving on. To the 90% silver dime. Proof decam, $8. Should we start stocking up on nickels now? Do you think the nickel's the next to get axed? Alright, moving on. Alright, next up is the quarters. These are 90% silver proofs. We got the Montana. Utah. Idaho. Oh, is it going to be like nickel-plated zinc? Washington. Wyoming. Alright, so $16 a piece. Or, if anybody buys the whole set, this is my break-even price. I had to redo the math again, make sure I was right. $70 for the full quarter set. If you get the full set, that drops them down to $14 each. So you save $10 if you get the whole set. Anybody? And then, let me see real quick. 90% silver quarter melt value as of right this second is $10.53. For just straight up melt value on quarters. For the 90%ers. Yeah, I'd recommend to anybody stock up on these things now because the prices on these seem to keep going up and up and up. Alright, moving on. If anybody decides you want those, let me know. Alright, the next up I have the 2009 silver quarters. I have the full set. So you got the American Samoa, Guam, Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, District of Columbia, and Northern Mariana. And again, I'll give you the same kind of deal on these. If you get the full set, on this particular set, because they're 6 quarters, it would be $84. Which will save you $12. I mean, if you tell me ahead of time, I will pay for you in 2 weeks on this date, and you actually pay it, it's not a problem. Just making sure you remember to pay it. But if you're more comfortable waiting until you actually have cash in hand, all good. That's how I am. I won't spend money I can't see. And this set is going to Boo Socks. Congrats, sir. Yeah, well, these and the 12s. The 12s are still, you know, very expensive. Because it's still one of the lowest mintage years, other than the latest years. As soon as they switched to the 9.999 silver, the mintage numbers went down. All right. Next up, came across these, saw somebody might like them. I'm going to go ahead and link both of these. I have the 78 and the 79 sets of the Kennedys, the P and the Ds, BU. I've got them at $5 a set. If anybody wants both sets, I'll do both sets at $8. Makes it, what, $2 a coin? If you get both sets? Pretty good for BU Kennedys. Anybody? $5 for 1 year or $8 for both. 78s and 79s. All right, moving on. If you decide you do want those, let me know. All right, and then next up is the 07S Kennedy, 90% silver proof. Over 28 bucks. And for these right now, as of right this second, melt value alone is 2106. All right, moving on. All right, Ike dollars went in pre-sale, so next we are on the Susie B's. All right, so these are $5 each. These are the 1979s. I do have the Denver and the Philly. They're BUs. If anybody wants both, I'll do both for $8. Make them $4 each for you. I realized I forgot to put their grade on the list. These are both BUs. Anybody? All right, moving on. I don't know why people throw hard on her. She was not that bad. She was just up there in years. All right, Sacagawea went in pre-sale, so the last 4 lots on the list are the presidential dollars. These are for 2007. So it's John Adams, James Madison, Thomas Jefferson, and then, of course, George Washington. Or if anybody wants the full set, I'll do it for $16. So if you get the full set, you save $4. Ooh. I know there are some people out there that actually do think that she is like super ugly. She's kind of mean. Yeah, you can show me again in a sec. Any takers on the presidentials? Here you go. It's the Denver and the Philly. $5 a piece, or $8 if you get both. They're both BUs. So let me know if you want those moose hawks. All right. Recap. As soon as I get these rubber banded back up. You take the Denver. You got it. All right. Recap. We've got from the British World Silver, the 1940 shilling in VF for 9. The 45 florin in AU for 14. 23 half crown in fine for 16. And then the 33 and 41 half crowns, they're both VFs and $16 each. Anybody on the Britons? If anybody wants bundle deals, I can do bundles on some of this stuff. All right, then we got the 1944 25-cent Netherlands. That's that damage coin that's going for 71 cents over melt. So that one's going for $5. That's it for the World Silver. That's the only ones that are still left. Anybody on the World Silver? All right, the BU wheat cents. I've got 5 of the 58 Denvers and 1 of the 58 plain date. Is all that's left out of these. They're all BU reds and $5 each. All right, we've also got the 07 nickel proof still available. The 07 dime silver proof still available. And all of the 07 silver proof quarters still available. Anybody on any of those? All right. Still got the 2 sets of Kennedys. The 79s and the 78s, they're BUs. $5 per set, or $8 if you get both sets. If you get both sets, that's $2 a coin for BU Kennedys. And then also the silver proof Kennedy, still available. Alright. And then the only other thing still available is the presidential dollars. So last call on everything. Last chance for bundles, last chance for everything. All right, I'm going to get out of here then, guys. Everybody, thanks for coming out. Sorry again for the weird night. As always, give me a bit to get the invoices out. Everybody have a great week, and I will see you guys next time.